Alright. Let's confirm that you have everything that you need, and I'm going to explain a few things. You have your nail mat. We started this when we did French polish application on our natural nails. Okay, but we're going to work between the mat and our fingers, so we'll go back and forth at the beginning and then we'll stop using it. The mat is good to use to work on. It's silicone, so if you get polish or something on it, you can always clean it up. Sometimes it does pick up a lot of lint and little shavings and stuff. Just run it through water, hang it to dry with a hanger, that like a pant hanger, and it'll be just brand new, okay? So take good care of that. You do have also a napkin, and on your napkin you have your fingers. So should you not have your fingers, okay, you maybe have the white finger stands. Sometimes these are really hard to take off, but if you just gently, without breaking it, go back and forth gently, it'll swivel off, especially when they're new. So like Legos, just clip them together and you're good to go, okay? Again, back and forth to swivel. Don't do too much because then they'll be loose. Okay, that takes the place of a finger. That's the stand. You have, if you don't have your fingers or you don't have all 5 of them, you have stands. If you don't have that, then you have your, just your nails, and you'll just hold them for today. You can also place them over the top of your finger. That's another option. You have your damping dish, and it has remover in it. If you don't have your damping dish, then you have your polish remover bottle. Oops. And you can work off of the little top dish there. Either one. You have an extra napkin folded in 4, and you have your brush. Now let's prep our brush. If it's a brand new brush, just kind of like the ones that you have in here, and again, if you have these, it's maybe because you want a small detailed brush. All brushes always come with some type of gel or glue or adhesive or something of the sort, and it's not glue like super glue, it's just something to keep it together. Here, okay, and they're hard. We don't ever want to touch our brushes because the oils on our, because we touch our face all the time, our oils on our fingers, if we put them on here, they don't work with our product. So to break up a brand new brush, you take your napkin, take your brush, and then just swipe back and forth to make the bristles flare and open up. Okay? We're going to dip it into our remover, wipe both sides just to get it wet and get it prepped. If ever you have a brush and it's like this and it's all messed up and it's crooked, wash it with warm water and soap, put a little bit of gel on the tip, smooth it out, and lay it to dry. 24 hours later, it'll be back to normal, unless if it's just really, really bad, then it just doesn't work out. Don't ever use scissors to cut a pre-trimmed brush because it doesn't work. You ruin the design of the brush. The brush is round. This particular one is to create a smile line. If you notice, it has a round curve on the top. Okay, this is for nail polish French application. Make sure you only use it for that, for fingers and for toes. Okay. And then, if you will, really quick, turn your mounting tape with your nails on it, turn it upside down. There's a Sharpie on your tabletop. It's going to be a little hard to write on because it's kind of a slick tape. But if you will put your name, let it dry, give it a second, let it dry. It'll stain it, but because of the type of tape it is, it's not going to be a really dark color. Just let it dry, okay? It'll wipe off, but it'll still mark your name. Because at the end of class, we're going to put it over there by those pink flowers. Okay? Any questions on any of the supplies? All right. We're going to start with our mounting tape. Just kidding. We're going to start with our mat. Okay? I'm going to do a dark color simply because that's the dark color that I'm working on. You're going to need your mat. You're going to need your damping dish, your napkin, your brush, and your polish. If you don't have the mat, use your hand, your human hand. If you don't have that, you can use a fingernail tip. I would start with the square, okay, because we're going to do the square. We're gonna practice on the mat first, and then from the mat, we are then gonna move on to the finger. And we'll come back to the mat and back to the finger. Depending on time and how we're doing, we might ditch the mat and just stick to the fingertips, the nail tips, okay? All right, let's shake our polish. Turn upside down, shake it, or not shake it, but roll it. Open it up. You're going to rotate the brush, get the polish off of the stem or stick, and wipe both sides of the bristles off. You do not want a bead dripping of polish on your brush. You do not want that. We're going to start on our square application at the bottom, and you're going to apply maybe 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 centimeter on the mat of polish. You want to make sure that you have a good amount of polish across the board. Now, it's a blue color, so it's hard to see on this mat. When you're doing a client, whether you're doing her fingernails or her toes, you're going to go from pinky to pinky. So when you start on one pinky, by the time you get across to the opposite pinky, the first pinky is dry. So then it's ready to go. If you're working one by one, you want to give it a second to dry, to set, so that way it's easier to remove and to get a nice crisp line. Go ahead and take your brush, dip it into your remover, wipe both sides of the belly, top and bottom, and then bring your hand upwards like so. If you have your finger, then make your fingers point towards you. Okay, you're coming from the top. And you're going to place the brush in the middle of the fingernail, and then you're going to slide side to side. Swipe it side to side. It's going to, and you're pushing towards the tip. It's going to give you a nice, perfect, clean, crisp line. Now, just like if you drop ketchup on the floor, if I put my napkin down and I just rub back and forth, I'm going to smear it. I gotta wipe, pick up, fold my napkin, wipe, pick up, fold my napkin, get a new clean, and then wipe. So with your brush, if you look at it, there's polish on the tip of it. So dip it into your remover and then wipe back and forth gently. Never jam it down and mess up your bristles, but dip it in and wipe back and forth, okay? So you want to make sure that you have a nice clean brush before you go back in. Dip your brush into your remover, wipe both of the sides of the bellies, and then clean up your edges. And wipe your brush. Make sure there is no polish left on any of those edges. Okay? We're going to move from our mat, and I'm going to try to go a little fast because we super ran out of time last class period, but I'm going to try to go a little fast. We're gonna go onto our nail tip. So with our nail tip, and I'm gonna erase mine because I just have one set for all 3 classes, okay? We're going to mount our nail tips onto either our hand, if you don't have your fingers, or your fingers, your practice fingers. If you only have one, that's fine. Or your white stands. I'm going to come by and give you your one and only that I'm giving you because that's all I got left. Set a little pile of sticky tack. Once you get your sticky tack, please play with it between your fingers and warm it up. Alright, does everybody have sticky tack? Alright, so once you got your sticky tack, you're taking it between your fingers and you're rolling it. Just take a small amount of it from the big pile. And what I need you to do is warm it up really good. The reason why you need to warm up the sticky tack is because if it's cold, it's not going to work. If you take your sticky tack and warm it up, so when you warm it up, it makes it sticky and tacky. So once it being sticky and tacky, it works better than if it were to be cold sticky tack. So if you will, take a little roly-poly, and if you're working with these white pieces here, you're going to place a long roly-poly on your mounting piece. Then you're gonna push your nail tip down really hard and it sticks.